friend, Percy. Welcome to my channel where we talk about all things lifestyle, book, content. I have a couple things that I really want to talk about today. They've just been kind of like weighing on me and I need to talk to someone about it, and my partner's really tired of hearing the same conversation 6 times. So now I'm going to talk to you. How's it going? So a couple things we're going to talk about today. One being how to navigate a book lover's wish list, especially if you're not a bookie person yourself. And 2, the difference between new adult and young adult genre and why that's important, because it's very important. And again, I need to talk to someone about this. So strap in, welcome, and let's get going. So this is for the besties, the parents, the godparents, the tias, the grandparents, anyone who has a loved one whose whole personality is books. Hopefully, there are going to be chapters down below so you can skip to whatever part of the video is most applicable to you and that you can find most helpful. And so there are 2 main reasons that I wanted to make this video. One, my little cousin and my niece are both at that age where they're starting to get into books, and like I said, I remember being that age and asking for books and that being a problem because no one knew what books to get me, because no one really knew how to shop for books and like what was kind of age appropriate. They kind of wanted to default to just what was ever popular, which almost led to my mom buying me 50 Shades of Grey when I was like 15, which wouldn't have been good. That would have been really awkward. And so with the holidays coming up, that's just been like on my mind. So yeah. And then number 2 is the difference between new adult and young adult. And especially going into the holidays, if you don't know the difference, we can end up with someone buying someone something really inappropriate. A little key points. So as you're shopping, it's a little less all over the place, especially with the rise in BookTok and Bookstagram and BookTube and everything. It can feel like a lot is going on. There's always new books coming out. So it can be really challenging if you don't know what you're looking for. So I'm going to start off talking about what I want to talk about most, because it's my video, which is new adult versus young adult. And if you have no idea what the difference between new adult and young adult fiction is, don't worry about it. Don't feel bad. A lot of people don't. Some authors don't. So it's cool. No judgment here. They are often used interchangeably, I've noticed. Personally. That's me. That's my opinion. They can be used interchangeably, which I think is kind of a problem, which is why I wanted to talk about it. And especially going into the holiday season, it can make for a lot more awkward situations if you're shopping for someone younger, and you end up grabbing a new adult versus a young adult. So a good rule of thumb is to match the character's age to the person you're buying for. So if you take nothing else from this video, I hope that sticks. And most of the time, you can look in the summary of someone's book and it'll be like, 16-year-old Abby Fitzgerald is starting high school for the first time, or 25-year-old is making it to the big city. So the person you're shopping for is 13 and the main character is 20. Might not be a lot of similarities going on there. They might not be able to relate. You might need a little bit more research on that book before you sign off on it. But vice versa, if your person is 20 and the main character in the book is 13, unless it's something they asked for specifically, they're probably not going to relate to the main character all that much. Luckily, young adult fiction is still in its own section at Barnes & Noble. It's labeled young adult/teen. All Barnes & Nobles has them. So if you're shopping for someone younger, that little section is usually pretty safe. When you think young adult, think age ranges 13 to like 18. Now, new adult is a fairly new genre. I've heard about it a lot in the last 5 years, maybe? But actually, it was coined in the year 2009. St. Martin's Press first coined the term in 2009 when they held a special call for fiction similar to young adult fiction that can be published and marketed as adult. A sort of older YA, or new adult, according to Wikipedia. So for this, you're going to be thinking ages 19 to 25 is what the internet says. I think, personally, as someone who writes new adult fiction, I would say it falls in the range of 19 to 35, personally. I also have a theory that the young adult age range, depending on if you're in a city or a suburbs, mileage may vary. Personally, I think 35 is like a solid new adult age range. So yeah, the term new adult has been around for about 14 years. I've only heard it in the last 5. And there is no section at Barnes & Nobles. It is just like with the rest of like the fiction section, which is a personal beef I have, because when I go to Barnes & Nobles or any bookstore, like half priced, mom and pop shops, usually just fiction. I have noticed though a lot of popular new releases usually fall under new adult, but that's just me. Also excluding James Patterson. I don't care how old the character is. James Patterson, that's an adult book. But yeah, so I've only heard it the last 5 years, which is not a very long time in the world of literature. But now, with the rise of book talk, the two genres seem to get conflicted. Words are hard. They're used interchangeably. And now I can't judge too harshly, personally, as someone who read fanfiction way too young when I should not have been reading fanfiction when it was still called Lemon. But everyone deserves to know what they're paying money for and what they're gifting to someone. And a big part of the new adult genre at this moment in time is a lot of explicit content, a lot of smut, a lot of sex. Actually, I don't know if I can say that. I might have to bleep that. A lot of steamy content with the explicit purpose of being enjoyed by the reader. It's written with adults in mind. And now, why do these two genres specifically get smushed together? Well, with the rise of TikTok and book talk and smut talk and spicy talk, whatever you want to call it, but however you know it as, if you do know it, if not, hope I didn't confuse you there. But with the rise of internet popularity of books and being a reader, there's almost this expectation of, if you're a reader, you have to read every single thing that's popular, which includes a lot of steamy content. And that's why you have 13, 14-year-olds reading Colleen Hoover, reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, things that are very explicit. And again, I can't judge. I can't say anything, but I used to have to go look for it, okay? I had to work hard for it. Now it's being, served to kids, and that's the weird thing. That's where it gets kind of funky. It doesn't spawn once someone turns 18. It doesn't just suddenly exist. It's never in their mind before, and they don't realize until the day they turn 18, that's a switch that goes off. That's not how that works. I know that. You know that. And there are YA books that have more adult themes, that talk about it, and that aren't shy about it. But the biggest difference is they are not written to excite the reader. They're written to progress the story. They usually fade to black. It stopped recording. I don't know what I lost. That's fine. They're just not written to excite the reader. They're written to progress the story. Because again, intercourse doesn't exist the day you turn 18. It's always kind of there. Teens are aware of it, whether you like it or not. And again, I can't tell you what to do, but I can offer you some knowledge. Especially if you're a parent, especially if you're a godparent. The holidays move very, very quickly, and everyone deserves to know what they're spending their money on. There's a bigger discussion to have here of what is considered age appropriate, but this is just my broad thoughts. Everyone deserves to know what they're spending money on. Everyone should know what their kid's reading. And again, I'm not one to judge. I was reading Lemon when I was way too young. And I'm sure your kids are too, whether you know it or not. But it shouldn't be something that is served on a platter for them and kind of shoved down their throat. Yeah, and I just kind of wanted to get those thoughts out. But now if you have a kid who's asking for a very adult book, like It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, I can't help you there. I'm not an adult. You have to go find an adult to tell you how to deal with that. I can't. And tell them no, I guess. I don't know. Well, Percy, are there other genres that I should be worried about when buying someone else a gift? I'm so glad you asked. Yes. If a book says dark romance, twisted romance, dark retelling of anything, don't get it as a gift. Here's why. I think they don't make good gifts, usually, because they deal with much more taboo topics, usually sexual. Things like kidnapping, non-consensual, also shortened to non-con, huge age gaps, power dynamics. It's just, that's not a gift. That's a weird thing to open on Christmas. Unless it's your partner, then it's different, but still, kind of weird. No, it's fine if it's your partner. It's just weird if it's anyone else that's not your partner. And so I don't care if your 13-year-old nibbling, that's all that they have on their wish list is like dark romance. Tell them no. But Percy, I'm 13 and I love dark romance. Okay, and? No. One, don't tell people your age. Period. No one ever needs to know your age online. This isn't for just my friends under 18. Even if you're over 18. If you're in your 50s, you're telling people online that you're in your 50s, they're going to try to scam you. Don't tell people your age online. Two, I don't care if your little nibbling only reads dark romance. That's not something that you want them to open in front of the family on Christmas. I'm so warm. I'm so warm in this sweater, and it's making me get really heated for no reason. I'm really warm in this sweater. I said what I said. Okay, now with all that being said, now what are you supposed to get someone whose their entire personality is books, and you're not super confident in picking up a book, or maybe everything on their wish list is completely inappropriate and you don't feel comfortable doing that, I have a few ideas. And I do have links in the description with everything that I'm going to be mentioning. None of them are affiliate links. I don't know how to do that. I just want it to be helpful. And also, I hate when people do gift guides and then they don't provide links. I hate that with like a deep burning passion. So I'm going to link everything. And I have a mix of like Amazon things and Etsy things in case, Amazon in case you're in a real pinch, Etsy in case you hate Bezos. 1, a tote bag. Where am I supposed to go with all these books? How am I supposed to carry them? A tote bag. You can get this one if they're older. You can get this one if they're younger. Any tote bag on Etsy with any sort of bookish content on it, they will love. Especially if it has a pocket that's big enough to fit a Kindle. 2, this is a huge fan favorite. A way to label their books. Huge fan favorite. I have one. It's up on that shelf. I'm not going to get it. But you can get a stamp or an embosser. The embosser's my personal favorite. I have a stamp. And I don't know if you're going to have time to get it in time for Christmas. Because I don't know when this is going up. But it's probably one of the sweetest gifts you can get someone who loves books. Anyway, it's a fan favorite. People love it. All of my friends have one. It's great. You can never go wrong with it. Especially if they're young and they're just starting their own book collection. 3, a reading journal. No matter what age they are, reading journal is always fun. I'm of the mind where it kind of feels like homework, but I like that it kind of feels like homework. You know what I mean? So this might not be for everyone. Honestly, starting in the new year, I'm going to start my own reading journal, and I'm very excited about it. Technically, I've already started in December, but there's nothing on there because I haven't read anything yet because I've been in pain. But I think it's a really great idea. 4, this is more of a hit or miss. It's a little more specific, but annotation supplies. You kind of have to know already, or they've had to have mentioned that they want to start annotating. I personally love annotating. I love corresponding the tab colors to the front of the book. It's really trendy, so more likely than not, they're going to really enjoy it. But again, you don't want to feel like you're giving someone homework for a gift, for a Christmas gift or a holiday gift. 5, mugs, any sorts, all sorts. Water mugs, coffee mugs, water bottles, any sort of drinking device. I have 2 drinks right here. I have 3 drinks. I don't have 3 hands. People who love to read love drinks. And that's just a universal truth. There's something really nice about curling up with a book, being really cozy, having all of your drink options next to you. It sets the vibe, and I think that's important. Unfortunately, I've noticed a lot of the mugs are much more feminine. Not a lot of like gender neutral or masculine bookish mugs. It's not impossible to find them. I found a couple, but they were ugly. And I don't want to recommend you something that's ugly. So you're on your own there. But know they exist. I can only do so much. 6. That's not 6. 6. Bookmarks. Readers lose bookmarks like no one's business. And I can guarantee you, if you have a friend who's a reader, ask them what their current bookmark is. It can be anything from a Polaroid, to a receipt, to a gum wrapper. Readers go through bookmarks like crazy. That or thumb holders to hold the book open so you can read with one hand. On Etsy, you can actually get some personalized combos of both. Again, I don't know if we'll be here in time for Christmas. Etsy, it can take a little bit longer, but not only that, it's rough in these streets. A bookmark is a really easy one that you can DIY, and I'm actually going to link some DIY recipes down below as well, so you can make your friends bookmarks. It's an inexpensive but really thoughtful and really useful gift. More useful than one would think, honestly. And the DIYs that I sourced are actually really pretty, and they're not like kids' crafts looking. That being said, you have to be a little crafty to do them, but I believe in you. You got it. And then number 7, bookish stickers. You can literally find them anywhere. Etsy, Amazon, TikTok, Instagram. Everyone is making bookish stickers right now. A lot of them could be themed to certain books that are really popular, like Fourth Wing, Court of Thorns and Roses are the ones that I see a lot personally. Which is why I actually read Fourth Wing recently. You'll hear about that soon. There are just a lot of generic, like, Kindle girly stickers that are just cute. They're just cute. You can't go wrong with them. When in doubt, stickers, honestly. Last but not least, DIYs. You can DIY a lot of bookish gifts. Mostly bookmarks, I won't lie to you. Even if you're not crafty, bookmarks tend to be pretty easy. And if you're DIYing a gift for someone, you got the crafting spirit, and that's what matters. So I believe in you, you got it. And even if you're not a crafty bean, look at those, use those for inspiration, and hopefully they can inspire you to do something different. And then I also have some that if you are crafty, are a little bit more craft intensive. But I hope that even if you don't use those DIYs, that they can work as some sort of inspiration for you in this day and age where gifts are expensive. So go forth, be crafty, love your bookish gremlins. But that's it. That's all my thoughts. I hope this was helpful. Again, I really wanted to talk about the new adult, young adult thing. And then I realized, hey, not everyone knows that. It should. And, it could lead to some awkward holiday mornings. So I hope this could be helpful in any way, shape, or form. Because the holiday season is stressful. Subscribe if you want more bookish lifestyle content. I got more ideas. I got more things I want to talk about. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you later.